If you're over 60, there are common beet juice combinations you must avoid. They can blunt the benefits or even create new problems for an aging body. I'm Dr. Richard Coleman. I've spent more than 3 decades working with older adults on nutrition, circulation, liver health, and safe, practical habits that actually help instead of hurting. Before we go further, tell me your age and country in the comments below. I read everyone. Let's start with why people drink beet juice in the first place. Beetroot contains dietary nitrate, which your body can convert to nitric oxide, a gas that relaxes and widens blood vessels, helping circulation and supporting healthy blood pressure. Beets also supply betaine, a compound that helps liver function and supports normal fat metabolism, and betalains, pigments with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Those 3 things, nitrate, nitric oxide, betaine for the liver, and betalains as antioxidants, explain why beet juice has become popular among older adults who want more energy and better circulation. But what worked for you at 45 may not behave the same way at 65. Aging brings real, predictable changes. A thinner, more sensitive digestive lining, slower kidney filtration, shifts in liver processing capacity, and often a more reactive cardiovascular system. These differences mean some popular upgrades people add to beet juice can neutralize the very benefits they seek, or produce symptoms like reflux, bloating, lightheadedness, or increase long-term risks such as kidney stone formation. I'll walk through the most common harmful pairings, explain the physiology in clear terms, describe the symptoms you might notice, and give safer alternatives you can use instead. Number 1. Lemon and large amounts of citrus. A squeeze or 2 for flavor is one thing. A half or whole lemon squeezed into concentrated beet juice is another. The extra acidity lowers stomach pH and can irritate an already sensitive lining. For many older adults, that shows up as heartburn, reflux, nausea, or a burning sensation. Biochemically, a highly acidic environment also shifts the local pH where nitrates are processed. That can reduce the efficiency of nitrate to nitric oxide conversion and blunt the vascular benefits you want from beet juice. Practical alternative. If you need brightness, use a tiny dash of lemon, a few drops. Or better yet, add cucumber or a small green apple for a gentle lift in flavor without the strong acid load. Prefer small adjustments over a half lemon squeeze. Number 2. Honey and concentrated sugars. It's understandable, beet juice is earthy and people often sweeten it. But adding honey, syrup, or a lot of fruit concentrates a sugar load that works against 2 things. First, rapid sugar spikes increase insulin demand and inflammatory signaling, which is especially important if you have insulin resistance, prediabetes, or fatty liver tendencies. Second, high sugar may blunt some of the metabolic pathways that make nitrate's vascular benefits most effective. For older adults, the immediate result can be faster rises in blood sugar, a sense of jitteriness or energy crash, and over time, increased metabolic strain. Safer option: skip added sweeteners. If you must sweeten, a small piece of green apple or a few slices of cucumber adds mild sweetness without the concentrated sugar hit. Number 3. Orange juice. People often pair beet with orange because it tastes healthy, but orange juice brings a double whammy for older bodies: high acidity and a concentrated dose of vitamin C plus sugar. In moderate dietary amounts, vitamin C is fine, but a big glass of orange juice alongside a concentrated beet shot can change the chemical environment and interfere with the optimal conversion of nitrate into nitric oxide. You may also increase the chance of fermentation in the gut, leading to gas, bloating, and discomfort, and the sugar content accelerates glucose absorption. For older adults who already tend towards sensitive digestion, that's a common recipe for bloating and metabolic stress. Swap instead for half an apple, or dilute coconut water if you want sweetness, without the same acidity and sugar load. Number 4. Vinegar. A popular addition in health food circles, vinegar, including apple cider vinegar, is acidic and can destabilize nitrates before they do their job. The acetic acid can alter the chemistry in juice and may irritate the stomach lining, producing heartburn or gastric discomfort in those with reflux or gastritis. Vinegar can also affect electrolyte handling in subtle ways. In people with labile blood pressure or on blood pressure medications, that unpredictability is not a great idea. Safer alternative: skip vinegar in raw beet preparations. If you want a tangy note, use a tiny scrape of ginger or a few leaves of fresh mint, or again, cucumber for freshness. Number 5. Milk and dairy. When acidic juices meet milk proteins, casein can coagulate and curdle. That curdling slows gastric emptying and can interfere with nutrient extraction from the juice, often leaving you with a heavy, bloated feeling or gas. Many older adults also have reduced lactase activity and may already experience digestive discomfort when dairy is present. The result when you mix beet juice and milk can be poor digestion and less benefit from the compounds in the beets. Better choices: water, coconut water, or simply dilute with a little filtered water. If you prefer a creamier texture, a small amount of unsweetened plain plant milk can work, but be mindful of additives and avoid mixing hot dairy with cold acidic juice. Number 6. Spinach and other high oxalate greens and concentrated carrots. Spinach is healthy, but it's rich in oxalate, a compound that binds calcium to form calcium oxalate crystals, the most common type of kidney stone. When you juice a lot of high oxalate greens, you create a concentrated oxalate load in a single serving. Add beets, and you may be compounding the mineral load in a way that over time increases the risk of stone formation in those predisposed. Carrots add natural sugars. In a concentrated juice format, they amplify the sugar load that we already cautioned about. For older adults, especially those with reduced kidney function or a history of stones, concentrated raw juices of high oxalate greens are a riskier choice. Safer options: rotate your greens. Prefer cooked greens once in a while. Cooking reduces free oxalate. Use lower oxalate greens like kale in moderation, or choose celery and cucumber as primary mixers. And reduce raw spinach to small amounts, or blend rather than juice, so fiber remains present. What might you actually feel when you mix beets with those problem ingredients? Immediately you could notice heartburn, nausea, bloating, gas, or a burning stomach. Some people report lightheadedness or dizziness if blood pressure becomes unexpectedly low after a powerful vasodilatory effect paired with other substances that change salt or fluid balance. Over the longer term, repeated exposure to high oxalate loads may increase the chance of calcium oxalate kidney stones in people already at risk. Repeated sugar spikes may worsen insulin resistance and fatty liver. All of these are real concerns for older bodies, whose reserve is smaller and whose recovery from stress is slower. Now let me give you a practical protocol for how to get the good from beet juice while minimizing these risks. Think of this as a step-by-step routine you can follow safely. First, dosage. 1 medium red beet per serving is sufficient. That typically yields about 100 to 120 milliliters of juice, roughly a small shot glass up to a modest cup. You don't need liters of concentrated beet shots every day. Less is often more, especially for older adults. Second, timing. Drink beet juice on a light stomach, either first thing in the morning or about 30 minutes before a meal. That timing helps the beneficial processes occur without competing with a large meal or causing discomfort. Avoid drinking a concentrated beet shot immediately after a large fatty meal, since slow digestion can increase reflux for sensitive stomachs. Third, freshness. Prepare the juice and drink it within 10 to 15 minutes. Beet compounds, especially nitrate and betalains, are more potent when fresh. Sitting juice can begin to ferment, change pH, and lose effectiveness. Make it fresh and consume it promptly. Fourth, sip slowly. Don't gulp a shot if you're older and may be sensitive to sudden blood pressure changes. Sipping over a few minutes gives the body time to adjust and reduces a risk of dizziness. Fifth, choose safe mixers. The best companions for beet juice are cucumber, celery, and a small green apple. Cucumber and celery are neutral, low in sugar, and gentle on digestion. They do not interfere with nitrate metabolism and add hydration and electrolytes. A small green apple gives a touch of sweetness without the heavy sugar load of tropical fruits or orange juice. Another reasonable mixer is coconut water. It provides electrolytes and a pleasant base without strong acidity. If you prefer a thicker drink, blending a beet with a small apple and cucumber into a smoothie keeps fiber and slows sugar absorption, which is often kinder to older metabolisms than a concentrated juice. Sixth, rotation and frequency. Don't drink concentrated beet juice every single day in large volumes. Rotate, alternate a beet day with a celery-based or diluted green juice. This minimizes cumulative oxalate and sugar exposure and gives your liver and kidneys a breather. For many older adults, every other day or 3 times a week is a sensible pattern unless a clinician advises otherwise. Seventh, preparation method matters. If you're sensitive to sugar spikes or oxalate concentration, consider blending rather than juicing. A blender preserves fiber, which slows digestion and blunts rapid glucose rises. It also spreads oxalate across a larger mass of fiber and liquid rather than concentrating it into a small shot. Eighth, watch medication and medical history flags. If you have reduced kidney function, a prior history of calcium oxalate kidney stones, unstable blood pressure, diabetes, or if you're taking blood pressure medications or blood thinners, talk with your healthcare provider before making beet juice a routine habit. I'm not telling you to change medications, only that a clinician should be in the loop so they can advise safely. People on powerful anti-hypertensive therapy are more likely to notice dizziness if they also take a potent vasodilator habitually. Those on blood thinners should discuss bleeding risk with a clinician, even though beetroot itself is not a direct anticoagulant. Interactions with other dietary patterns and medications deserve individual review. Let me give you a few concrete practical recipes and rules you can use. Simple morning shot. Juice 1 medium beet with 1 small cucumber. Drink 100-120 ml within 10 minutes. Sip slowly 30 minutes before breakfast. Gentle smoothie. Blend 1 medium beet, half a small green apple, and half a cup of water or unsweetened coconut water. Keep the pulp to preserve fiber. Hydrating option. Mix 1 small beet juice portion, 50-60 ml, into 150-200 ml coconut water for a milder electrolyte-rich drink that's less concentrated. Rotation plan. Monday, beet cucumber. Wednesday, celery green apple blend. Friday, diluted beet with coconut water. Use low oxalate days in between. Avoid these specific practices if you're over 60. A half lemon pressed into a beet shot, a spoonful of honey or syrup in the juice, a large glass of orange juice mixed directly with beet concentrate, a raw spinach and beet mega juice every day, and adding vinegar or straight dairy to your fresh beet extract. A few additional practical notes. When you juice beets, the color and aroma are strong. Rinsing the mouth with water afterwards reduces lingering taste, but avoid doing anything that interferes with your oral flora if you're relying on dietary nitrate conversion. A small note: very aggressive antiseptic mouthwashes can reduce the oral bacteria involved in part of the nitrate conversion pathway. I bring that up only because some habits indirectly affect how well nitrate becomes nitric oxide. Also, if you experience any acute symptoms like severe abdominal pain, marked lightheadedness, fainting, or signs of an allergic reaction, seek medical attention. For common mild symptoms such as transient bloating or a bit of reflux, try the adjustments we discussed and check in with your clinician if they persist. To recap, Beet juice has real potential benefits for circulation, mild liver support, and antioxidant protection when used correctly. But for people over 60, some popular mix-ins, large amounts of citrus, added honey or sugar, orange juice, vinegar, milk and dairy, and concentrated high oxalate greens like raw spinach, especially combined with high-sugar vegetables like carrots, can reduce benefits or increase short and long-term risks. Prefer gentle mixes such as cucumber, celery, a small green apple or coconut water. Stick to 1 medium beet per serving, about 100-120 milliliter. Drink fresh within 10 to 15 minutes. Sip slowly on a light stomach about 30 minutes before a meal, and rotate your juices. Finally, a brief medical note. This guidance is informational and not a substitute for individualized medical advice. If you have reduced kidney function, a history of kidney stones, unstable blood pressure, diabetes, or you're on blood pressure medications, blood thinners, or any other chronic therapies, please discuss your diet and beet juice routine with your healthcare provider before making major changes. They can help tailor safe frequency and volume to your unique situation. If this helped you, please like, share with someone over 60 who drinks beet juice, and subscribe for more practical, evidence-minded guidance for older adults. I read your comments. Again, tell me your age and country below. And I'll keep answering questions in future videos. Take care, and small, consistent changes will get you the benefits you want without the avoidable risks.